All right, go ahead.
So we were just informed by the event staff that you're out here with a sign. They're prohibiting that. At this
They can't. I have freedom of speech. I have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
About speech.
Yeah, it is.
You're asking for stuff.
Shawn Baker, nice to meet you, brother.
Nice to meet you.
So you were arrested. Actually, what day were you arrested?
Sunday 2 weeks ago.
You're a ticket scalper. Is that what you call yourself?
Broker, scalper, whatever.
Okay.
Whatever. It's kind of a business that doesn't exist like it used to.
Yeah.
I've had to diversify in life. I sell vintage clothing. I drive cargo vans. I used to just sell tickets.
And so you're doing what you've done 100 times before, or actually millions of times before. You're doing exactly what you always do. You're standing in front of the festival. You actually know the promoter. You said even no one has a problem with you standing there. Is that accurate?
I'm guessing a Karen, even though I can't prove it.
Eventually, somebody does.
Somebody's gone and complained that I'm holding a sign that says I buy wristbands.
You got that sign with you?
I got that sign right here. It's the actual sign.
So this is the actual sign that he's holding out in
Double-sided. That way, if people are walking either which side of the street.
Somebody working the festival decides to call the police. Who shows up, actually?
The St. Louis City Park Rangers, and I guess I've never really seen them before in my life.
Yeah.
I guess they're just assigned to the parks of St. Louis, which this festival was in Forest Park. All right, go ahead.
So we were just informed by the event staff that you're out here with a sign. They're prohibiting that. At this
They can't. I have freedom of speech. I have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech.
About speech.
Yeah, it is.
You're asking for stuff.
I have a freedom of speech. I can say I buy wristbands. And it's legal to sell wristbands in St. Louis. They can't dictate our laws here. We've been selling tickets for 35 years on the street.
That has nothing to do with tickets.
I have freedom of speech. I can write what the fuck I want. Don't listen. You guys can lose.
They don't want you here.
They have no say. They don't write laws. I don't care.
But the police do.
Okay, well, it's legal for us to sell tickets in St. Louis, bro. We've been doing it for 30 years.
Not to scalp them.
Yeah.
To scalp them.
I can sell pretty price. There's no law on price. There used to be, but there's not no more. I could sell for I could sell for $1, or I could sell for $1 million legally in the state of Missouri.
I'm just saying they don't want you on the sidewalk where people are coming into the main gate. Now, if you want to stand across the street, I could care less.
Nope.
So you just want to be difficult?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not being difficult.
Well, we're going to be difficult
I'm
too.
standing up with my rights.
We're going to trespass you out of the park.
This is a public park, dude.
Of course it is.
It's a public park.
Yeah, but they don't want you here.
They don't have any say. I mean, here's the thing. You just said I could go right there, but I can't go right.
So you said by the main gate. This is the main gate.
Okay, but this is still public. This is still a public way, just like that is, just like this is. I watch First Amendment audit videos on YouTube all day long, every day.
We've all seen them.
So I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm an American citizen, just like I would stick up for your rights. I don't know if you're a veteran or what you are.
I am.
Okay, I figured that. Just like you, just like you stood up for our rights as American citizens. If we don't use our rights are like muscles. If we don't use them, they go away. So I'm just sticking up for my rights. I'm not trying to be difficult. I have the right to freedom of speech, and we have a right to sell tickets. Whether it's
let me ask you this. Is that what you're doing?
I buy and sell tickets for years. I buy and sell tickets for the last 35 years. I talked to Steve Shankman. He's the promoter.
So you're buying and selling?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Steve Shankman, me and him talked for 10 minutes an hour ago. So whoever called ain't even the real person.
It was
you got tobacco here, bro.
Sorry about
that.
Yeah, no, it wasn't anybody that called. I don't think it was somebody that works here.
Okay, well they're not higher than Steve Shankman. I guarantee you that. Steve Shankman's going to do an interview with me tomorrow. He knows exactly what I do. I've known him for. Now, Riverport, I can't go on their property and sell tickets. I mean, I do work illegally there, but I am on private property at that point. This is public property. You guys have business cards?
I don't carry any.
Okay.
I don't.
You're Cannonburg?
Yes.
Okay. And you're Compton?
And your name?
My name's Shawn. I'm just Shawn today.
This video starts with him saying that you can't stand there, you can't hold that sign. You said something about freedom of speech, and he said, no, you're asking, or what did he say?
Yeah, I said, I'm standing on a public street with a sign, and he says, but no, you're asking for stuff.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's kind of...
He said that's not freedom of speech because you're asking for stuff.
Now, I do agree there are instances that you can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You know, there are things that we are not allowed to say. I buy wristbands would probably be under the protected phrases.
Right. And just to make sure I know this, so it is not illegal to scalp tickets in Missouri.
As long as we're not on their property. Like, you know, just like if you're McDonald's, you can't go on Burger King's property and sell hamburgers.
Right.
You know, so I cannot physically go on their property.
So as long as you're on public sidewalk,
yes,
it's not illegal
and
to do what you're doing.
It used to be illegal over face value. This is the thing. This is why I'm fighting now, because 20 years ago, if this cop would have told me to beat it, I'd have been like, yes, sir.
Right.
How fast do you want me to beat it, sir? I'm fed up. I am so sick of being pushed around unlawfully, and I watch you guys on YouTube all day long sticking up to the cops, and this was my time.
I'm sorry, your name is Sims?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. What are we waiting on? Higher ups?
Yeah, we're waiting on the district court to arrive.
Okay.
All right.
How long do you think that's going to be?
A few minutes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
He actually ends up calling the St. Louis City Police.
He called his superior.
Okay.
She's incompetent too. She then called the St. Louis cops that came out.
Nothing. You're Officer Davis?
Yeah.
Okay.
They asked you to leave?
No one said, they asked me to leave, but this is public property.
No, you can't be out here panhandling.
Okay,
Bro.
I'm not.
Okay. Just go on. Just move. Just
This is a public street.
they're asking you to leave.
They don't own the street, bro.
It's not the street.
This is a public street.
You can't sell tickets.
We've been selling tickets in
You
St.
can't
Louis
sell
for 30
tickets.
years.
You can't sell them.
I haven't sold a ticket yet today.
Okay, well then leave. That's all you
I
gotta
have
do.
a right to First Amendment right to protection. I have a First Amendment right to hold the sign. You know, you lose qualified immunity if you defy me of my First Amendment rights.
Go hire a lawyer.
Huh?
Hire a lawyer. Can you have one of my traffic cards? That's why you got an ID.
Are you telling me to leave?
I asked you to leave.
Okay.
Can I see your driver's license?
I'm not IDing. I haven't committed a crime.
I've not seen you did. I need to see your ID.
You only can get my
I need to
license.
see your ID.
I'm going to refuse.
Okay, well, then don't worry about it. Here, turn around. You've been arrested for trespassing.
You want me to give you the ID? I'll give you the ID then.
No, don't give it to me now.
I'm going to give it to you.
Put your stuff up. Put your hands behind your back, please.
7923.
This is a big mistake,
Come
sir.
on, put your stuff up.
Okay, can you stop there?
Just put it up right there.
Within a minute and a half of him showing up, as you saw, I was in cuffs. He did no investigation.
He shows up. You say, "Are you telling me to leave?" He says, "No, I'm asking you." Therefore, there was no lawful order. Even if it was an order, it actually wouldn't have been a legal lawful order. But the fact that he said, "No, I'm asking you," completely takes it away altogether.
He got out and said you can't scalp tickets, which we can. It legally says no license needed. And then he accused me of panhandling, which I still think is panhandling is freedom of speech, and that is contested in different places. Then he said I'm trespassing, and then the ticket ultimately got written. I ended up getting charged with disturbing the peace, even though he never saw anything that I was doing.
So this is what so you're charged with disturbing the peace. However, you say I haven't committed a crime.
Yep.
And he says I didn't say you did.
Right.
He admits you didn't commit a crime, but then he wants your ID, and then you not giving the ID turns into disturbing the peace somehow. Did I follow that right? And then disturbance of the peace doesn't line up with, even if it was illegal to not give ID, that would be obstruction, not disturbing the peace.
But I'm done. I'm making a stand today. It's 20 years later. I'm 20 years older. I'm 20 years more wiser, and I'm sick of the police just thinking they can push us citizens around. And listen. Maybe I'll die standing, but I'm going to stand.
Hell yeah, dude.
I have my good buddy I played rugby with, Justin Winton, lawyer.
Shout out.
Yeah. He's going to be representing me. So then the very next day, I contacted Central Tyrant Investigations YouTube channel. He's a local guy in St. Louis. We went back the next day. I stood on the same corner and basically started going, I buy a wristband. I tried to get arrested for an hour again.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. So I was hoping that I could just show the prosecuting attorney the tape, and then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, we got nothing here. We're just going to drop it." But I don't think that's going to happen. So
right. You're going to go not guilty though?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
I have a First Amendment right to freedom of speech, and you lose. And he's like, so hire a lawyer. He's so
hire a lawyer.
Yeah, that's his answer. He doesn't care. And you know what's going to happen? They're going to write a report and say we saw nothing wrong with what the cop did.
Right.
The cops, we investigated ourselves and we found no fault with ourselves.
Right.
It's just like if an umpire was a Cubs fan and the ball was right down the middle, that'd be a ball. You know, it's like, hey, there's a reason why umpires are supposed to be neutral. We can't have Cubs and Cardinals fans investigating themselves because they're always going to find for their own team,
Correct.
which is exactly what these cops do. 2006, the police got caught stealing our tickets, which this is part of why I'm fed up and why I've taken a stand, is the cops used to come out and steal our tickets, steal our money. And what happened was, one of my buddies from Denver, Jeff, got illegally arrested and they stole his tickets. They were so brazen, they were discussing who was going to get his tickets. And so Jeff used his one phone call and he called up one of his clients he had sold tickets to and said, hey, go take pictures of section whatever it was. He knew the seats and he took a picture of the person that was in the seats. It was like the cops, like Ann or something. So what happened was they pled guilty, but part of their guilty plea, they said, we want our tickets back. And then they took the tickets to the Cardinals and said, were these tickets ever scanned? Well, yes, they were. They were scanned at 6:30, whatever night that was. Okay, so my client got arrested at 3:30. Those tickets went into an evidence bag, somehow got out of the evidence bag, got scanned, and then got put back into a sealed evidence bag. Like 20 cops got demoted. Many
people you know were arrested with a bunch of tickets. The tickets were then used by the cops, but then put back into evidence after the game.
Yes.
I'm gonna walk. I gotta get my wrist. I'm gonna walk. All right, fucking cops just fucking arrested me, disturbing the peace for peacefully holding the sign. Yeah, this is gonna be a lawsuit for sure.